buying advice straight from the horse's mouth, a finance man in a car dealership. Hi, I'm Kevin Hunter. After many years of publishing car-related videos, I now get thousands of comments from car buyers and car dealer employees every year. But few comments are so good that I make a video out of the feedback. This was the case with Chuck. I will share with you almost verbatim what he shared on one of my videos because it is that good. I added a few notes and I reorganized part of it to follow the sales process to help you, the buyer, out. Before we get into Chuck's great advice, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Give us a like, comment below, and share this video on social media. Your friends deserve to get a fair car deal too. All right, now for a little background. Chuck Lostetter was a former loan officer at a bank. That probably helped him a lot, and then became a finance manager at a highly reputable dealership. Chuck is proof that there are good guys in the car business. I read everything he wrote and endorse his comments entirely. Here's advice directly from a finance man, somebody who knows. First, if you plan to finance your next car, you should know what's in your credit file before applying for a loan. You can get a free copy once a year as required by law. If there are any errors, make sure you dispute them and have them corrected before getting a car loan. If you have credit cards, make sure your credit debt is at or under 15% of your available credit. This means if you have a $1,000 credit, don't be more than a $150 balance on that card. This will significantly help your credit score. Make sure you have all of this in place before applying for your loan. Great advice, guys. Make sure you follow it. Number 2, research the dealership and their reputation. A lot of different ways to do this. You can do this on Yelp. You can do this on DealerRater. All kinds of sites out there. I'll include links for some of those. But make sure you establish who the reputable dealers are in your areas and talk to your friends. Find out what their buying experiences have been with dealers near you. Next, research the car you want. If buying new, there's not a lot of room to negotiate since there's not a lot of markup on new vehicles. That is very true. The key to buying new is buying when there's a lot of rebates or incentives from the manufacturer. And you can find this kind of information available online on the car that you're looking at. If you're buying used, check how the vehicle you want is priced compared to similar vehicles in the market. Once you determine that you are buying from a reputable dealership at a fair price, then you can worry about financing. If you're financing your first vehicle, you will pay a higher interest rate than people with more credit history. It would be a good idea to have a cosigner if it's possible. Many times credit unions and small local banks are willing to take on more risk in the form of a first-time buyer, and you can get a decent rate from them. Find out from your bank what they would be willing to do for you. Many factors are used to determine your interest rate: the age of the vehicle you're looking at, the miles that are on it, your credit score, the loan-to-value ratio, so how much you're hoping to finance based on what the selling price of the vehicle is, and debt-to-income ratio, to name a few. Debt-to-income is just how much debt you have based on how much income you have. Make sure you have money to put down on whatever you buy. And as a first-time buyer, this shows that you're serious about your commitment. Ideally, banks love to see you put down enough money to cover the tax, title, license, and I say all the way up to 20% of the purchase price of the car. I think you definitely should consider at least 20%. Now, after you've spoken to your bank, give the dealership the opportunity to arrange financing. The dealership has the ability to shop different banks to ensure that you get the best rate. Let them try to get you a better rate than what your bank is offering. This is very true. Dealerships have so many different resources they can deal with. They can do a fantastic job for you, but you'll have to shop your own bank and hold them accountable. You need to know that information before you go in. A big misconception is that every time your credit is pulled, it lowers your credit score. Not true. Banks and shady dealerships will tell you this so that you don't shop around for the best rate. It's a lie. It doesn't matter if one bank or 10 banks pull your credit. As long as your credit is pulled for the same reason, you're shopping for an auto loan, the net effect on your credit will be the same. Like one pull. The credit bureaus look at all the inquiries within a 45-day period as one shopping instance. Where you can get into trouble is if you have your credit pulled every 6 to 8 weeks and you don't make a purchase. This will lower your credit score. When it comes time to do the paperwork, you'll be offered additional items you can purchase while in the finance office. VIN etch, auto DNA, underspray, these are all horseshit ripoff items. Now that came straight from the finance man, you guys. I've said this many times here in this channel, but that is right from the horse's mouth. And reputable dealerships will not offer that stuff. Think about this. If VIN etch, Auto DNA, underspray, if those things are being offered to you in the finance office, you already know that you're sitting in a shady dealership. But this does not mean that everything offered to you is garbage. A gap policy is very important for you to have. Unless you are financing for 3 years or less and putting 20% down. I've said that many times here on this channel. You will likely have negative equity for half of the term of the loan. Lesson learned, folks. Finance your car for 3 years, put 20% down. You won't have to pay $1,000 for a gap policy. If you did not buy a gap policy from the dealership and you needed it, well, buy it somewhere else. I would not recommend buying it from the same company that you buy your car insurance from. And here's why. Let's say you owe $30,000 on your car and you're in an accident and your car is only worth $20,000. The damages on your car come to $25,000. It should be totaled, right? Well, if your gap policy is with the same company as your auto insurance, what is going to happen? The insurance company will fix your car and pay the $25,000 because it's cheaper for them. You now have a $20,000 car with a bad Carfax that shows $30,000 in damages because the insurance company wanted to save $5,000. You are screwed when you eventually trade that car in. If your gap policy is with a third party, your insurance company totals the car, pays the $20,000 value of the car, and the gap company pays the extra $10,000 you owe. You can read more about gap at a link we'll put in the video down below. It's here on the screen, but make sure you check that out. Next is the vehicle service plan, also known as extended warranty. Only you can decide if this makes sense for you. If you plan on keeping your car for a long time, then it is probably a good idea to get one. If you're going to upgrade in 3 years, do not get one since your vehicle will be under warranty, of course, unless you're buying a used car. Never buy a warranty from those crooks that will call you unsolicited or send you junk mail. There are many scammers out there. You can always buy a warranty from the dealership at a later date as long as the manufacturer warranty has not expired. Depending on the vehicle, a good warranty can cost you $2,500 to $3,500. Many times they pay for themselves. Buying it at the time you purchase the vehicle allows you to include the cost in the vehicle loan. If you wait to buy one when your factory warranty is about to expire, some dealerships, like the one that Chuck works at, will let you pay it over 12 to 18 months interest-free. That's not a bad deal. You just need to determine the risk-reward for yourself. Could you easily pay $1,500 if the touchscreen system goes out in your vehicle? Is the peace of mind you get with the extended warranty worth the extra $45 to $50 a month? Only you can make that determination. Don't allow a finance man to try cram this down your throat if you don't want it. Next is paint protection. This is something you might be interested in, but find out about the product your dealership offers and do your research beforehand. Make sure you aren't paying for crap product that is essentially high-dollar car wax. A lot of dealers have this kind of a product. Chuck's dealership does ceramic coating. He bought it for his car and loves it. His price is $600 to $800 cheaper than any detail shop in the area. Do your research. You might find paint protection to be useful. There are many shady people working as finance officers, and they give every finance officer a bad name. There are plenty of good guys out there that are ethical, and knowing the difference will determine how your buying experience will end up. If you end up with someone who seems pushy and high pressure, do not be afraid to get up and walk away. An ethical finance manager will give you the facts and let you decide what is best for you. For those who work at reputable, ethical dealerships, the absolute worst thing that can happen is to have a customer regret their buying decision. Good dealers want to give you all the information you need in order to make an informed decision and for you to be happy with your purchase. When this happens, the dealer ends up with customers for life, becoming great advocates, and will refer a lot of business to them. After hearing advice from a finance man like Chuck Lostetter, let me just say this. You'd better be hoping and praying that you run into somebody like Chuck in the dealer finance office. There are plenty of slime balls out there. To find someone like Chuck will make your next car buying experience absolutely amazing. And Chuck, if you're listening to this video, I do hope you share this with your customer. This was rock solid advice that you gave here on our channel. For those of you who are new to the channel, remember to subscribe for future videos. Hit the like button if you appreciated this advice. Leave us a comment or a question. I always check back, and share the video on social media with your friends. They deserve a fair car deal just like you. Thanks for watching, and thanks to Chuck Lostetter for his amazing comment on this channel. It's always great to hear from the honest people in the car business. I'm Kevin Hunter. Till next time, take care.